And the answer is you should not be doing that.
Okay.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, dogs and fleas, pull up a chair and sit on your knees, for we have a story to tell you that we are still learning about. Welcome to Talk the Walk. My name is Henry Moses.
My name is Jenny Tucker.
I'm Jared Moreland.
And I'm Gabriel Moses, and we are super happy to be here, and thank you all for joining us wherever you may be. That being said, happy Monday from all of us to you. Happy Monday. May all your dreams come true. We wish you many more and hope that you do. So happy Monday from Talk the Walk to you.
Hey! I've got a different version of that. You want to hear it?
Do it.
We wish you a Merry Monday. We wish you a Merry Monday. We wish you a Merry Monday and a happy weekend.
It felt like we were missing the alto or soprano.
Yeah, we're
tune, their tone in our song.
Jenny, how come you did not join in on that?
Because I refuse.
Why?
What the heck?
Because this is Thanksgiving week.
Oh,
Jenny's taking it.
In fact, November is a month for Thanksgiving, not for Christmas.
Oh.
Are you taking a stand on us?
I am taking a stand.
Oh.
And I have for a long time. And I know that in our family and friend circle, we are not the only ones who have this little friction here, this little disagreement on how things should be done. However,
this is at least U.S. wide.
Yeah.
yes.
This
I mean,
debate of all
people
time.
get pretty serious about it.
Which, is it not a U.S. holiday only, or am I wrong about that?
Thanksgiving?
Christmas?
Well, let's see. The Thanksgiving.
Yeah, which one are we talking
I mean, we have the first. No, we're talking about
Christmas.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
I mean, I think it would have to be a
I feel sorry. That's a good point.
United
That's
States
sad.
thing.
It is a U.S. holiday.
Yes,
That
it's
is
a U.S.
sad.
holiday.
Yeah.
I think other countries have adopted it a little bit, but it definitely.
They're like
Again, which
reason
part
we
are
talking
you-
about.
Here,
we
we
talking
think
about
about the first
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're talking about Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For now.
Right. I know. I was
For
good.
now, we are.
It should be the only thing we're talking about, but
That's a weird thought.
Because it's Christmas season, with Thanksgiving being part of Christmas season.
no.
In China, they don't be doing this holiday. No way.
Not in China.
China?
No China.
I don't think they do. I mean, well, what do
Yeah,
I know?
I wonder
I
if-
know nothing about China, really.
So I don't know anything. I know it's on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Jesus is worldwide.
Bunch of smart people.
It's true, but I don't know if they, I don't know if China
Does
they're
Christmas.
allowed to.
Was
still-
Bruce Lee Chinese?
He was China.
Asian.
That's how I know that.
Chinese. Nope. Jared. Chinese.
So,
You just got scolded.
so
live
the
on air,
so
Jared.
the discussion is,
What's the discussion, Jared? Tell me.
Jenny, the debate is, do you decorate before? Do you decorate for Christmas before Thanksgiving, or
And
do
start
you?
with-
Well, is it decorate? Is it celebrate? What's your
Well, it's obviously decorate. Nobody
Just
celebrates. I mean,
I start with Christmas music on September 25th.
right. So it all goes together to me.
Okay, so it's not just decorate. It's anything to do with Christmas.
Yes. Are you
Okay.
doing anything to do with Christmas prior to Thanksgiving Day? And the answer is you should not be doing that.
Okay.
No.
That's the
I'm
answer.
interested to hear the argument because Jenny said it could get dark, but while we were kind of lightly talking,
I haven't
about it
decided if I'm
before,
gonna go
which
down
is
that path.
crazy to me. But
Let's see how far we get.
coming from a Scrooge, I could see that. So
Yes, a
yes,
Scrooge.
yes. I told Jenny yesterday we were kind of talking about it in the office, and Jenny said because I was decorating for Christmas yesterday. Yesterday, obviously this will come out in a few weeks, in a week right before Thanksgiving, a little over a week. And Jenny and I were talking while I was going to go ahead in mid-November do my decorating, and I was making some awesome chili, and our youngest sister Becca and her family were coming over, and so I wanted Jenny to come and just have a good time, and she
No.
was not. She was like, no.
It is not, and I feel more ardent about it this year. I think because I was I was in Virginia a little bit ago, and I'm driving around, and it's like the first week of November, and I mean there is just Christmas everywhere in that town, and I just thought
Christmas time.
Tecum, I mean, I just felt despair.
Where is
I
Thanksgiving?
really did. I felt despair because, and I heard it said recently too, I was watching a show and they said Thanksgiving is the speed bump to Christmas. And
That's what lit the fire.
I did. And she said that and I was like, no. And then I get to Virginia and I see like Christmas decorations everywhere. And fall is, the Thanksgiving season it really has always been a season. You have pumpkin bread.
Oh, yeah.
You have pumpkin and apple smelling candles. You do have fall trees everywhere. Literally, the Lord decorates for fall.
Here's what I like about Thanksgiving.
Okay.
To me, I hate Halloween. It gets rid of it. To me, Thanksgiving gets it out of there. It's like moving on.
It's like a perfect palate cleanser.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Go away.
Get that nasty taste
But
out
You're
of
gonna
my
get you're gonna get some hate on that because some people
bring it.
love.
All I got to say is
Halloween.
good.
I invite it, which we
podcast.
do. We do love it when y'all disagree with it. So we're good with it. Agree, disagree.
You want to
but
disagree?
think
Get
about
your own podcast.
Yeah.
Well, no, just do it on the
Go
page.
read-
Tell us,
get
like
your own
literally.
Bible.
Better yet.
Put that hate mail on the page, man.
Come on over. Let's talk about it. Jared's not talking. You
I
can
know.
have his.
So I'm
seat.
like driving around
We know where
Virginia,
Jared stands.
and I'm
Give
looking
him
at all
the
these Christmas
Halloween.
decorations, and I'm like feeling despair. And then just in my heart, I thought to despair or to fight.
Speak up.
Yes,
So you're saying Christmas makes you despair?
when it's done at the wrong time. It did. It despaired to see all the decorations everywhere. Now, if it was celebrating the Lord, if that was like the symbolism of let's start celebrating the Lord Jesus in November, but that ain't it. You want your lights, you want your Christmas
But
music,
some people
you want
do
your
put up crosses.
No.
Yes,
no,
yes,
that's not
they
what we're
do.
talking about, Gabriel. I don't
That's
care
not
about
what you're
crosses.
talking
No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Christmas decorations. Crosses are up all year long.
The one in Bishop Hills only lights up at Christmas.
Fine, light up the crosses.
See what I'm saying?
I'll concede the crosses 100%,
Yeah.
but I'm talking about the whole everything. Gabriel, Bishop Hills, the most traveled neighborhood
When
for
it comes to
lights
Christmas season,
for Christmas.
yeah.
When do they start that?
They start that this year, I believe, is December the 4th.
Oh, really?
Well,
wonder why it's December
You need
the
to
4th.
chill yourself because I wasn't
Nope,
making an
I'm
argument.
fighting.
I wasn't making an argument. I was actually just making a statement. I haven't even stated my position yet. No one here knows my position.
So why do
And my position's bad.
Everybody here knows
My position is bad, actually.
so why do we wait though? Because honestly, Thanksgiving is not
About God.
remembered from a Thanksgiving holiday. Actually took place mid-December. It didn't happen in November. December 13th, 1621, Governor William Bradford declared that day. It was December in 1621 when the first winter had 44 of the original 102 colonists killed, and we came upon the favor of the Native Americans, and they began to give us food because we were going hungry. But that happened in December.
Which, by the way, it should be noted is really cool.
It is cool.
That is cool. That's neat.
Yeah,
They stepped in and helped.
But I think we need the rest of the history lesson.
then we so after they were cool to us and helped us out, then we really went full blown and stole their land after we were super recharged and
It's
everything.
not the history lesson I'm talking about. We're talking about Thanksgiving.
So
So on October 3rd, 1863, President Lincoln, in the midst of the Civil War,
Correct.
when the country was battling itself, declared the last Thursday of November, a day of Thanksgiving.
Correct.
why?
Because we had forgotten our gifts. We had forgotten our history. Let me see what he said. He basically said, the year is drawing towards its close. It's been filled with blessings and fruitful fields and healthful skies. And he says, we so constantly enjoy these, and we're prone to forget the source from which they come, Most High, God.
So then, September 25th, 2019, Henry Moses came along and said,
Oh,
this is when it is.
I see.
Good point.
I will say, because
That dude is awesome.
the original Thanksgiving celebration for the Pilgrim settlers was in 1621, and it was in December.
Right, but it was proclaimed when we forgot all of that.
A holiday.
Lincoln proclaimed the last Thursday. He is the one who made the proclamation.
Yeah. I don't feel like the mid-December argument helps a lot, because then Jenny would just say, well, yeah, we should only have about a week of Christmas then, which point. Is horrible. That's a nightmare. I mean, that's like.
I also think that like first of all, I don't even think Christmas decoration looks good with all the fall leaves and trees. I always think like by December, I get fall pulled down and get Christmas put up on Saturday and Sunday following Thanksgiving. And even then I'm like, I wish these leaves would fall off, because it's right there. It just doesn't even, I know that's a weak argument.
We sold all of our fall decorations in a garage sale this year.
I fully disagree with you on that.
I don't either.
You sold all your fall decorations?
In a garage sale this year.
You just ain't doing any.
Yeah, because I'm not going to put them up for a little bit to take them down. I'll just leave Christmas up longer.
It's too much. Yeah. See, I like the way you think.
Takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to say, so my record of having my Christmas tree up is 3.5 years.
That's it. That was one of my
3.5 years.
You saying you have boundaries on your Christmas?
I do now. I do now. Because I
like
realized
this year.
No. Since I moved here. Since I moved here. So except for the lights that I just didn't ever get around to taking off up front. Josh actually had to. I told you. Reminder to everybody on here. I was talking a second ago about how the Thompson family, my youngest sister and family, came over yesterday and helped me decorate and get everything up. Well, the lights, I think they helped me put these lights on. I have a huge steel fence out front, big, black, awesome. And those lights had been on there for 4 years, as long as I've been here, basically. Mm-hmm. And so Josh had to cut them all off. They were so.
Oh, dang.
Oh, yeah.
Dang. Speaking of that,
put new ones out there.
Speaking of that, I want to give y'all kudos. One thing, and this kind of has something to do with what you just said, Hank. There's a guy in our neighborhood or a house. I don't know if it's a guy, it's a family, and they celebrate every holiday. Like they go over the top with everything.
That's cool.
Before I say that,
except for Halloween, that's cool.
Before I say that, y'all did a phenomenal job talking about and breaking down Halloween. I wish I would have been here to just like interject my 2 cents.
Cool.
But I really appreciate how y'all did that a few weeks ago. But anyway, this guy does everything, like even Halloween. It's like full blown. But what I love, even though I hate his Halloween stuff because it's super evil, like it's demonic symbols.
Yeah.
I mean, when you drive by his house on November the 1st, it's all gone. And Thanksgiving stuff is up. I don't know how he does it. And it's all Thanksgiving. And after Thanksgiving, it's all gone, and then it's all Christmas. And I promise you, like, I don't think he goes much past Christmas Day, and it's all down. Like, I super appreciate
I dread that. Oh.
The takedown is no fun. That's why for each of the things, I decorate for springs, for winter, spring, fall, and Christmas. Only those first 3 are very minuscule. It looks like I made a big change, but you do an awesome job at your house of putting up. You have you have certain stations at your house. Right.
That you
not
just,
the whole house.
You just interchange.
Yes.
You've got
I have nail holes already placed for the picture that I'm going to, it's all very easy.
And I do look forward to the changing of the garden at your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So I appreciate that. And you had a good point earlier, Jen. Like, I mean, I don't have, my argument is not a good argument, but it's my argument. And I don't have a wife to argue with me about it. So I get all the say so. But mine is, Christmas is it's the most wonderful time of the year. And it is for different reasons. Now I'm reading a book on it right now that kind of helped me to even go deeper into it. And we do things to try to go deeper, the older we get. But for me, even a lot of the nastiest people tend to be happier and more peaceful during that time. And just, there's kind of a festivity and it's cozy. I'm all about cozy.
Maybe the Christmas spirit's got them.
Yeah.
I'm just afraid we're just going to let it bleed, keep bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. Because to me, the month of Christmas, having that 1 month distance truly does make the heart grow fonder.
I will say,
That's why I started putting up my decorations and not leaving them out all year.
Yeah.
So for me,
You put a boundary on it.
yeah, it's not, you don't like it, but
Yeah.
it is
Too big a boundary.
It is something.
Yes.
So I do love the banter and debate, but as I know we're getting close to transitioning, maybe. Yeah.
And we got to hear Gabriel's stance on
Yeah, I
it,
do
too.
wanna hear
I feel like
stance.
I already have a counter for it.
I will say, so I'm not making a stance. I grew up, my family was super traditional. And so nothing about Christmas happened until the day after Thanksgiving. And that's just the way I was raised, and that's the way it was. And then I got married.
Yeah.
And Angel's family, my wife, does a lot of things different. And I've had to adopt
Yeah.
that. And honestly, I think Angel would love to have the fall decorations up, but I kind of just, I don't care. But I will say,
Well, because you don't want to have to put them up.
well,
If
I
you're
don't
gonna
mind that. It just seems like a lot going on.
Yeah.
But I will say, you were talking, Jenny, about the Christmas spirit. And I made a comment to Angel the other day. Man, I just don't feel like I can get into the Christmas spirit. But the truth is, it always comes after Thanksgiving. It really does. Like there is a
When it
switch
shows
that
up.
flips, and you start feeling it after Thanksgiving.
Right.
That is true.
I will concede that to you.
See, I just don't think that's enough time to have your.
That's what I think, that
everything
people are
up.
so
Maybe-
indulgent. They have to have more time with their tree.
Yes.
More. Give me more.
Indulgent.
Which we
It's
can
more.
go
It's fleshy.
all down
So
the
for me,
pagan
it
side.
starts. Music starts September
Counter
25th. Music starts September 25th, and then which I can remember very easily because Gabe, it's your wife's birthday, and it also helps me remember Carrie's birthday. So that's awesome. And then one of my favorite people, so that's good. I should remember that. But we have 50 million people in our family, so it's tough. So that's awesome. But I don't. It is still kind of warm in Texas, and so I don't. No decorations go up. I want to be able to drink hot chocolate while I'm doing the decorations and putting all that stuff
And
up.
it needs to be dark.
Yeah.
That's where your lights,
Right. So the
shine,
time
right?
change
Yeah.
helps with that and all
And
that
the winter
stuff.
solstice.
But I don't host Thanksgiving ever. That's a you thing, Jen. And so you did have a good point earlier. You definitely can't have Christmas decorations up and be hosting Thanksgiving. It kind of.
Well, not according to Jared. They do it.
Oh, y'all do it?
That's what he was saying. They eat on Christmas plates for Thanksgiving.
We do.
No.
Yeah, that's
I didn't catch the Christmas plate.
That was the Angels family's tradition. That's before we got past having to use the fine dishes and all that. But Angel's mom has some very old. Is it spode? Spode Christmas
china.
dishes. Like so. Every Thanksgiving,
bet that.
that's what we ate off of was all the
Yeah.
spode Christmas stuff.
I almost love that because it does fall. It's tradition.
It's like it's a transition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. Gabriel, what's your stance?
Well, it's kind of our house is kind of different because Carrie's big on the fall stuff and I'm big on the Christmas stuff. So she's had the fall stuff out, the Thanksgiving-y type stuff it's been a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. And for me, we do a lot of lights because we do live in Bishop Hills, and I have to start that project in November. Mm-hmm. And so those things start happening early November. So as far as the decorating goes, I mean, that stuff's going to be up before Thanksgiving for sure. But then we do it. It's really Thanksgiving-y until after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you're not flipping those lights on though. I mean, yeah, you're in Bishop Hills. You got to start preparing early. I get that.
Yeah, right after Thanksgiving. they'll go
Immediately.
on. Yeah, right after. But then on a personal note, though, this is going to sound stupid, but I listen to Christmas music 24/7, 365.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you listen to. Yeah.
I do pop it on Pandora Christmas music randomly throughout the whole year. And if I could, I'd leave the lights up all the year round. So that's where
That's where you stand.
you know.
Yep.
And that's what I'm afraid everybody's going to start doing right there. I'm afraid everybody's going to take that lead.
No, that'd be too
It's just going to
embarrassed.
bleed.
No, they'd be too embarrassed.
Oh,
It's
it's
turning very
Leave those
cultish.
lights. You wouldn't
We
leave
got to
them.
have it up November 1st.
We're extremists.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we're extremists.
Most people, I bet
We're
you,
Christmas extremists.
No, I'm telling
And
you, it's everywhere now.
There's two other thoughts.
It's not extreme anymore.
I'm like, it's neat because eggnog comes out.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's
you get eggnog.
I wish I liked eggnog.
Oh, I love it.
You don't?
I still
We're
don't.
50-50 split in this room. But
Actually, I'm glad it doesn't because it's like 1,000 calories
It
an
is
ounce.
really high calories.
Bad.
The older I get, the more scared I am.
I can't. I don't
It's
even
more
take
than
one
that.
sip. I don't
It's-
even want to like it.
It
It's
is
so bad.
well, I generally don't drink it by the quart anymore. I used to.
Just a few sips and you gain a couple pounds from that. Maybe
So,
you
but
get
the
it
other
off.
question on all this in my mind is which one, Thanksgiving or Christmas, does family congregate and gather more on?
It's the same.
In ours, it's the same.
It's
But
hard. It's hard for us because
not just ours, but
all the in-laws. It's hard. Christmas seems to be the best for our family. That's when we can get everybody together uniformly at the same time. I got a question for you, Jenny, just to see if I can get your approval on this. So we do get our decorations out. This is all Angel. It's all about timing, tasks, appointments. So we get everything out, but our tradition is the tree is up, but it's not plugged in and it doesn't get decorated. So when we get home so it's Friday after Thanksgiving, that's when the stuff is out, it's up, but we dress the tree, plug it in the Friday after Thanksgiving. So that's kind of our tradition. So can I get a little bit of a pass?
Yes.
On that? Okay.
100%. I love that. I think that's great. Preparing. I like preparing, but yeah, there should be a flip switched.
So what was the dark
Flip switch?
Like none of
You
this
said it
is
right.
dark. This is a great chill talk. I
loved it.
But I am curious.
I think I decided not to compare it. My point was going to be traditions. Okay, that traditions and having those traditions in place. If you let things get too wild and crazy, they just go away. They just go away. But if you keep good boundaries in place for traditions, and since we're going right now basically into the talk of Thanksgiving, I'll go ahead and go here. The dark part is the thing that got the Jews through the Holocaust was their traditions. It's a thing that brought them all back. It actually reinforced the traditions. They were starting to lose their traditions because there was so much wealth and so much ease and all of that. And the traditions of the culture, all the feasts that they have, those came back with a force during the Holocaust. They were what held them together. They were what gave them hope. And instead of being lost, they became more firm, and they're very firm even today, which is actually not that far if you look historically from the Holocaust. So I just think that there is something to be said for tradition and keeping those things in place. When I look at different points in history, people that lose their tradition typically become less of a people.
Okay. I can fully get
That's
on.
pretty dark.
I can fully get on board. So
It's not a bad point.
Well, I thought when we were coming into this, like Jeannie was hardlining before we came in here, and I was like, man, it's like she's pretty stuck. But you're not. I mean, you are, but you're not. You're saying, because I made a joke. I said, well, I just do whatever Lowe's and Walmart does. When their stuff comes out, but that's what you're saying you're standing against. If you have a tradition that the night of or the day after Thanksgiving, every year, that's when you flip the switch, you can get on board with that.
Well, and
yes. You're honoring all the traditions.
Right. And that, I do kind of look to the Jews have held their traditions best out of every people.
Yes.
And they have a day. I mean, they have a day where this feast begins and this one ends, and it's been held for thousands of years, and I do look and see what God's people have done. And Americans, and I love this about us. We are, a salad ball, a melting pot, whatever you want to call it, where people come in and they bring different ways. But I think we can embrace different ways while not losing ours. Thanksgiving is a tradition here. Traditionally, it's the whole month. I mean, people used to be like, this is day one of Thanksgiving. I'm going to put something thankful out there every single day. Day one, here's my day two Thanksgiving. Yeah. And it's just kind of melded now into just, we're ramming Christmas down everyone's throats November 1st. I'm sorry to use such strong verbiage, but basically it's just the way that I feel. And it's just
So would you feel
lost.
okay? So if it wasn't for the consumer side of things and for shops putting up lights and all that kind of stuff early and the Hobby Lobbies of the world, the Lowe's of the world, the Home Depots of the world, putting all the Christmas stuff out at this time of year.
Right.
Do you think it would bother you as bad as it does
Maybe
now?
not.
Like if it was just people doing it at their house and choosing, I'm ready to have my Christmas stuff up, but it wasn't
Maybe
in your
not.
face, because the way you say cramming it down my throat,
it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yes,
It
it's
is.
absolutely
yeah,
everywhere.
Which makes me happy.
Right.
But but I could see how if that's not your thing, it would be like if there were turkeys up everywhere and pilgrims walking around, and you would just be happy as a clam.
Like things used to be. I mean, people used to do a fall decoration and get ready for Thanksgiving. It really has been a season, and the season's been knocked to the side, and then literally people are calling it a speed bump on the way to Christmas. And I have to say, so a couple of years ago, I was pretty despaired. I sometimes get that way for a few days and then pull out of it. And so a couple of years ago, or actually I think it was last year, I decided just didn't want to, do my transition until Christmas. Just forget it. I'm not going to do Thanksgiving, even though it's my favorite. It's always my favorite. It's almost like you can't skip Christmas, but I was just going to skip the fall decorations. And instead, that very day that I decided, it was late. It was a bad year. And I went ahead and I began to pull everything out and begin to flip everything around. And while I'm doing that, I always shine up, my boat thing that I put decoration. I shine everything up. I gloss the wood. I put, different kind of leaves and stuff out and acorns and cones. And as I was doing it, I also have an album that I play. There is Thanksgiving music out there. And so I turned on my Thanksgiving album. I don't play it except for during the month of Thanksgiving.
You're going to have to send me some of this. I'm curious what Thanksgiving music is.
Yep. And I realized I just was thanking the Lord as I was doing this and thinking about the whole past year and praying and loving on Him. And after I put everything out, it was so glowy, and I have lots of golds and coppers that are around. And I just realized this is my altar to the Lord. I build this Thanksgiving altar when I put all of these things out. It's my altar to Him of Thanksgiving, and then we invite the family over and we have a psalm that we all say together. And it's basically meant to be back and forth, where you say, "Oh, give thanks to the Lord," and someone else says something and the whole room goes around it. So so that's Thanksgiving does, and holding the line, if only in my house, even if the whole world goes against it, because I'm really losing some ground on this, man, everywhere I go.
No, I don't think you are. I think you made a great argument. And I told Angel what our chill talk was on the way here today. And she goes, "Well, you tell Jenny." But the only thing that will really disarm Angel.
I can hear Angel's voice.
But if you want to disarm Angel, when she hears the whole reference back to the Jewish feasts and their traditions, Angel will be like, "Oh, yeah.
That's true. She is very much pro-Israel.
Yeah. She is pro-Israel.
True.
So, that may be the...
She said, "Well, you didn't finish it. Was you tell Jenny what?"
Because Angel and I have always sided with you on that.
Yeah.
So she's
Her family, her and Brandy for sure are on my side.
Yes.
Yeah.
Her sister. Yeah.
So y'all want to talk about Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I do want to, but real quick, before we jump into thickness, what is your favorite Thanksgiving movie?
Crickets.
I didn't know there was one.
It's easy.
There is only one.
Okay.
And I watch it every year, so I do.
Okay, I like that.
It is funny, and it surprises you at the end with extremely heartfelt. It's John Candy and Steve Martin.
No, that's a Christmas music movie.
No,
Is it Thanksgiving?
Absolutely, 100% Thanksgiving.
Is it?
Yep.
He's trying to get back for Thanksgiving.
Yep.
I love that movie. The very end.
Yep. Yeah, so it's cold where they live, all that stuff, but it's the end. It's a full-on Thanksgiving movie. It's the only Thanksgiving movie I can think of. And so I tried to research out. I thought one year, I thought, what?
I just Googled Thanksgiving movies, and the top 2 results were horror movies. I'm like,
Exactly. Yeah. It's just not. But that one is. And so I make it a point every year at Thanksgiving time.
Okay, I will watch it.
Good one.
And
Thanksgiving.
there you go. I do actually have a Thanksgiving
Very nice.
tradition there. So,
Yes.
So that should make you remember to love me again.
Okay.
Okay. So I want to start out today's topic by saying Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We said Happy Monday. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to y'all. I'm
in
looking
3
forward
days, it's
to
going to
it.
be go time.
Yep. And
Yeah.
you only have a couple of days of work left, probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. True.
Have you put your turkey in the fridge to thaw already? Because
Right.
you not wait
Yes.
until the day before to do that.
Right.
Yeah. Do
Don't
it.
do
now.
it.
Yeah, you will be in trouble. You'll
That's
be,
the highlight reel of this episode.
Yeah.
It's you start
Pull
thawing
your turkey out. and
Matter of
put it
fact,
in the
if you
fridge.
haven't already, you might be in trouble, depending how big
You might be
your turkey
okay. You
is.
might be okay today. You
That
should
is
be okay.
true. So when I worked, and then Jenny, I'm going to let you take the reins on this, but when I worked we'll just call it the factory. I got in trouble from Miles for saying, but so we call it the factory. But when I worked there, I was on a team of security guys. And, you know, when you work,
So you worked at
security-
Walmart?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Walmart.
The Walmart security. And so, but anyway, when you're on security, you work whatever hours, right? And this place is open 24 hours a day. So you have a team. So teams have feeds. And so I'm a pretty darn good cook now, but then I didn't know anything at all. I think I can make a grilled cheese tuna melt. That's it. And so, I was in charge of bringing the turkey for Thanksgiving.
Oh no!
Awesome.
Oh no!
No problem. Where I worked, we had a cafeteria and fryers, and they were going to all fry the turkeys and all this stuff. And so I'm like, cool, that's easy for me. I don't have to cook anything. So I get a big, huge turkey. I'm all proud of myself and happy. And the morning of, I think we had to be at work at about 5 o'clock in the morning. So I get up 3 o'clock and getting ready. On the way out the door, I grabbed the turkey out of the freezer, and it had snowed. And back then, I didn't have a garage, so my truck sat outside. So I had snow in the bed. So I stuck it in the bed of the truck, and I covered it with snow to keep it frozen.
I'm doing such a good job.
I'm doing so good. And so I drive through the entry, and my team is
22-pound turkey.
Yeah. Yep. And they're like, hey, did you bring the turkey? I'm like, yeah, it's in the bed. And they look in there and they're like, it's frozen. I'm like, yeah, I made sure it stayed frozen on the way out here. So let's just say, thankfully, there were other teams that were more generous than they normally were. So, yeah. And then
I'm embarrassed for you.
We had an extra turkey for our family Thanksgiving.
Oh, nice.
So it
Good.
worked out well. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, don't do that. Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah, takes a minute to thaw.
Yep. So there's you'll have a not so happy Thanksgiving. So
Yeah.
get it out there on that. Get it out there. Jenny, what you got for us?
Well, I mean, you said that earlier, but I've used up a lot of my stuff that I had on Chill Talk.
Let's get into it. So we're talking about Thanksgiving.
Yes.
We're coming, and I say we're coming out of a season. Really, it's yet to be determined. Really, we're still kind of in the middle of this season, where it doesn't feel like, for most of the people in the world, it just doesn't feel like we have a lot to be thankful for. It's tough. It's hard. I had a friend, a very dear, close friend, who hit me up the other day, and she called me, and I answered the phone, and her and I talk all the time. We've been friends over half our lives, and she calls me, but it's at night. We normally talk in the morning. So I'm like, that's interesting. I answer, and she's like, I need you to pray. I need you to pray. I'm really at the bottom in the pits right now. And she just breaks down crying. And so we end up talking for a bit, and it's just the stress of the economy, and she owns businesses and just everything she's going on with all that. And
She told her to quit being a crybaby.
and
No.
I just hung up. I didn't say hung up. Yeah, I just hung up,
man.
Guys.
Yeah,
No.
and I was thankful for the hang
I'm
up.
like
I was
almost in
thankful
tears
hang-up,
for
though.
whoever
Yeah.
this person
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, you know who it is. Dear friend, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That I talk to every morning.
Yeah.
All right. So
But anyway, I mean, she's an amazing person, so smart, so all this, everything going for her, amazing family, husband, and all this, but it just, man, it's hard times, and it's and I'm not even trying to talk politically. I'm just talking about the state of the world. There's so much chaos. There's so much. It does feel, Jenny, you were talking about dark earlier. It feels like it's just not a lot to be thankful for. Now, depending on what side of the fence you are, just being real, we just came through an election, so about half the country probably feels more thankful than the other half.
Right.
Pretty close.
How it is. It's
Apparently
coming.
not
This
half.
coming.
Well, right. So, but it's pretty close. Y'all are killing me. But it is, man, it's this railing against each other. It's this,
Right.
what's going to happen?
Lots of war.
Just
Lots of war.
War all over the place, and countries hating on other countries. So my question to y'all is today, do we genuinely have anything to be thankful for right now? And how do you reach? If so, or if you don't recognize it, because Jen, you just said that you just went through a period of kind of depression.
That's what I was just going to say.
Hit me
So,
with that.
okay. I get back from seeing, my grandson come into this world, and I just, my gosh, I just felt depressed. He's way over there, and I have to face, I got to have like 4 days where I was truly off grid and just made myself not care about anything. Mm-hmm. But, this mission of getting to meet my grandson and spend some time with him before I came home. And then I get home and it's just all still here waiting for me. I get here and I felt a little down the first day, the next day a little more down. Then, the next day a few more things happened with family dynamics. And by the fourth day, I am dragging so hard. And, just feeling so low. And I normally, I think most people struggle somewhat with depression. I have a lot of tricks to end depression. Mm-hmm. And none of my tricks were working. And sometimes I'll just, if a trick isn't working, I say, okay, 24 hours and tomorrow you're out of it. Just mind over matter. None of that worked. Just none of it. And, I went to sleep one night. And it kind of in the middle of the night, it was where, that space where you're not asleep, not awake. I was there and I didn't want to pull.
One of my favorite spaces.
It is my favorite space if I can stay there and get back to sleep. But there's a chance I could get to awake, and I'm just not wanting to get to awake. And I'm remembering the depression. The depression starts weighing in on me again. And it was like God, like the dad God, it was there. And he said, you know what to do. And he said, 1, 2, 3. And I just knew what to do. 1 thing I'm thankful for. 2 things I'm thankful for. 3 things. And I started thinking of things, not the bit, I love my family. I love you know what I mean? Not those, but just little things here and there that I was grateful for and thankful. I'm thankful for, and just not awake, not asleep. And next thing I know, I'm asleep again. And so I wake up the next morning, and I knew even in that middle space what I needed to do the second I woke up. And I did. I pulled my journal out. I do always pray in my journal in the morning, but this morning I wrote a few sentences to the Lord, and just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and named everything down to the little bell on my dog's collar that lets me know she's coming, rugs on the tile floor, just whatever. There was a book out years ago about this, to do this. And gratitude is how you chase away depression. I mean, it is how you get rid of it. And another reason why I believe in having a season of Thanksgiving and not just a day where you eat, because there is something about that. In fact, I just now looked at this verse, Colossians 4:2, devote yourselves to prayer, stay alert in it with thanksgiving. It's very interesting.
Well, there's so many scriptures. You hear so many people talk about fear not being mentioned so many times in the Bible, like 360-something times. Mm-hmm. But gratitude and thanksgiving is really, it's like 160 times. And even in Philippians, be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication. With thanksgiving, let your requests be made. Rejoice always. Pray without ceasing. In everything, give thanks. I looked up something earlier today where gratitude...
Which, real quick, that supplimation... Do y'all know what that word means? I actually just...
Supplication?
Supplication. Yeah. Do you know what that means?
Not technically.
I mean, I always just kind of read past that, but I looked it up earlier. It means making a request with a humble spirit. And that's all that with prayer with supplication with thanksgiving. That supplication with thanksgiving is
making humble requests with thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I like that.
Making the request out of humility and with thanksgiving in your heart, with a thankful spirit in your heart. So anyway.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think about the difference. I found something earlier as well about thanksgiving and gratitude. Whereas gratitude, it's like something I'm grateful for, it gratifies me, but thankfulness usually offers things that please God. And I think, like you said, that's the antidote.
Yes.
Popeye had his can of spinach, but for us, when we're feeling weak and down, it's thankfulness.
Yes.
When we start to become thankful, and the Bible tells us to be thankful in all things. I mean, that's it. That's what gets us out of our funk.
Mm-hmm. Well, and not to belabor the point, but the Christmas season is about giving and getting. It's about both. You know what I mean? I do love that about Thanksgiving, that it is just about giving. That's it. It's about being thankful. It's about giving to the Lord and telling him, I am thankful for all of the bounty that you have prepared for us, regardless of what is considered a bounty in perspective, where you're at in your life. So,
yeah. And not to push back or argue, but I think we have lots to be thankful for. Hank, you started earlier saying, let's face it, there's not so much to be thankful for. I'm thinking, man, as a Christian, I'm thankful that the election doesn't dictate where I'm going and where I'm headed.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's so much to be thankful for, because my direction and the path the Lord has me on is not dependent on the worldly system and the worldly mechanics.
Yeah, because like you were saying, you can fit it. I felt like there was not a lot to be thankful for those 4 days that I was dragging. That is the way I felt, the perspective. You just feel that way.
That was your raw emotion.
It just was it. But in reality, that's why, the Lord, being the good father that he is, said, you know what to do, and started counting. And I knew, that impression, count the things you're thankful for. And it's ridiculous how many we all have.
That doesn't really work for me. And I don't know if it's my personality. I don't know what it is, but that it's like my mind knows what to say.
Yeah.
But does it seep through to my heart? And it has to be,
it has to be a heart. 100%.
Thankfulness is a heart.
Yep.
And so, and maybe, I've probably only tried it a few times, and I've named off like a few things, but humbling yourself, putting yourself into a position of prayer, and humbling your heart, getting yourself. Can you read that scripture again?
Yeah.
Philippians
4:6, be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. So prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. I always think of it as a recipe. Like if you leave out the sugar out of a chocolate cake, it's going to be terrible.
Yes.
So you can be prayer and be supplicant, if that's the right word. But if you leave out thanksgiving, that's a problem. But anyway, be anxious for nothing.
I like that, but that kind of speaks to it. That's what by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. So getting in prayer, going and getting yourself, because understanding what that word supplication means, requesting with a humble heart, going to God. And now God's going to hear us, because Jenny, you described him as a father earlier. And so fathers listen to their kids, even when we're not coming. But it may take, you think about a child throwing a tantrum. It's going to take them a lot longer to get to the place that the father wants them to be in, if they're sitting there throwing a tantrum, than if they're coming and, Dad, I need to talk to you.
Right.
I need to Gabe, you can speak to that. You've got children. What's your, when they come, how do you respond to them differently depending on the approach that they come to you? If they come to you thankful and this and that, and they start making requests.
I love it when they come in and ask me. I love it when they say, Dad, can I talk to you? It's my favorite thing. Honestly, I love it, because they don't do it very often.
Yeah.
So when they do, I'm like, let's go somewhere private. Where do you want to go? You want to sit out on the front porch? You want to go sit in the treehouse?
Yeah.
Where do you want to go? Let's go talk. That's my favorite thing.
But if they come to you and they say, and they're irritated and they're mad.
Pointing at another kid and, he did. Yeah.
He did or she did. Can you do this or that? Or I can't,
I love that too, because then I get to correct them.
Yeah, right.
I have this.
And I get to teach them how stupid they are.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're out of line. You're not taking a humble heart at all, or one of service, or one of care, or one of love. You're missing all the stuff that it takes to have an interaction with that other kid.
Well, I've heard so many stories about y'all's dad, and I have this. I hope I don't bomb this analogy. I think I got a good one here.
Run with it.
And I'll use a simple one, like when a kid is looking for something to eat and they say, Dad, we don't have anything to eat. Mm-hmm. What do you mean we don't have anything to eat? We have this and we have this and we have this and we have this. Yeah. You can fill in the blank with a different analogy, a different request. But I think about when we're sitting, we're like, man, I don't have nothing to be thankful for. And God's like, what do you mean you don't have nothing to be thankful for? You have this. You have this. I've blessed you with this. I've given you this.
I don't think God uses double negatives, but I get where you're going.
I understand but you're having trouble being wrong on this. That's the problem.
Okay. I do struggle with that. It happens so rare. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you are Henry the Humble, by the way.
That's true. Let's don't get into that. Proceed, sir.
But look at him blushing a little bit. But I just had this visual of us feeling like there's nothing to be thankful for. And thankfully, God's so gentle. You were feeling like you had nothing to be thankful for, Jenny. And the loving Father just said, okay, you know what to do. He didn't say, what do you mean you don't have nothing to be thankful for? He gently just walked you through that.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to jump in on this. I've got a thought.
Finally.
That's really, I've had a thought this whole way we've been talking. And the other day I was sitting with, my little guys, Landon and Jake. They're the youngest of our 6. And these little guys, they're precious, but they don't understand. And it's my job to teach them what it means to be thankful, not just what it means, but to recognize how much the most thankful I am for anything is Jesus' death and resurrection. Number one. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Jesus, for doing that. But there is so much. There's endless things, and I can't stand the lack of their gratitude for life and what they have sometimes. I'm like, you don't know where this life could have taken you, where you could be being raised. Yeah. You have no idea what you're protected from, and somehow it's my job to teach you, even though you have virtually everything a person could want. So we're sitting there and we're just flipping through TikTok, and I come across this video. Or no, I was sitting by myself first, and I came across this video. And it was of this little girl in another country, and she was very, very, very poor. And the camera is right on her, and this guy hands her a sucker. She's probably like 4 years old, and her eyes were the most innocent eyes you've ever seen. She didn't even know what to do. She's just looking at him, and she's looking over at someone else and then back. And she takes the sucker and just keeps staring. So humble. I was like, it made me cry. Nothing. And I just like, I got to see this person's channel, see what other kind of content they've got. And it was just video after video after video of these little children who are so poor and sick, and that one of them, they showed their cave where they had a little blanket on the floor, and somebody was in that cave back there, and I mean, so I showed the boys these videos, and while we're laying on one of their beds in their room with heating and air and all this stuff. And I just wanted them to grasp the concept. Look how much you have. And everywhere in these videos it was just terrible. Floods had damaged and destroyed homes. War had destroyed homes. And I'm like, if you can't find something to be grateful for, I say shame on you. Your attitude is bad. You have a problem. Or you just don't recognize how good you have it, no matter what it is. If you're alive and you have fingers that move, well, doesn't somebody else is missing fingers or an arm or both arms or, it's endless. If
that guy that doesn't have any legs and
that Australian guy,
like a hand coming out of his shoulder or something like that.
Yeah,
that guy,
no arms, no legs.
And he's one of the happiest guys you've ever met.
Get.
It's like he's got a secret.
He's full of joy.
Knows that he's got the code breaker to walk, and he is a Christian. Yeah, and
everybody has moments where we lose sight.
No, I'm not gonna make that joke.
What a back to the whole chill talk and us bantering and all that. But as we sit here and we focus on thankfulness and gratitude, the thought of you, Jenny, seeing or hearing about it being a speed bump to Christmas, it's like, that is kind of offensive. It's really offensive because what better way to set you up and carry you into the Christmas season than to really reflect and take a moment to pause and embrace what Thanksgiving truly is about. Mm-hmm. It's not about the turkey and the dressing, and that's fun. That's the tradition.
It is. It's great.
But
it's a great way to end the season. But there is a season there.
Yeah. Yeah. What a way to go into the Christmas season by just focusing on what we have to be thankful for. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Putting our heart in the right stature.
Yeah.
And getting it to the right place.
I'm going home putting up fall decorations
for the next 3 days.
It's too late for me this year, man, so I don't want to hear it. In fact, we've got Christmas decorations in this room close to Jenny.
I purposely put that tree in front of her before she sat down.
I am going to close this out or at some point.
More time?
No, I mean, not right now, but I am going to play you 5 seconds of the Thanksgiving album that I listened to.
That's awesome.
And then we'll post it in the link.
I would love to hear that.
Yeah.
Are you on Spotify?
No.
No. Okay.
Let me read this real quick. So
I have that too.
Oh, what the heck? My whole. Okay, I had it. Okay, y'all keep talking.
Stinking technology.
Completely closed. Yes, it completely shut down on me.
Okay, so while we do that, while you're rebooting or whatever,
that'll take 2 seconds.
What's your favorite? What's y'all's favorite family food? Your food tradition for Thanksgiving?
Turkey and cranberry sauce.
Can't stand cranberry sauce.
Cranberry sauce out of the can that's like not all grainy and
jelly.
Yeah. Not the one with all the seeds.
I will speak a little bit of blasphemy. My favorite dressing. I love dressing.
Yes, me too.
But straight up, only stovetop out of a box. Can't stand homemade dressings. I just love the cheap stovetop.
I'm gonna send you some of ours.
Formula. They've got the right stuff.
Hey, I've got cranberry relish that I make.
Yeah.
And it's very simple. It is fresh cranberries and oranges cut up and put through a food processor.
Little lemon juice or lime juice?
No, that's it.
No,
and then sugar and all mixed together and then let chill, overnight.
Yeah, sounds good.
And let me tell you, it's just special. I do have this scripture real quick, and then, or do y'all want to finish?
No, we were just
time for
hungry. I'm glad today's cheat day because that is making.
We were just time feeling to help you out.
Okay, so I think it literally did it again.
I just watched it happen.
What is this? It just disappeared.
Not meant to.
I don't know if I'm. No, it's really fitting for David sings a song of Thanksgiving, so it's really good. But technology is killing me. But it took me 2 seconds. Hold on, here it is. Okay. Okay, so I think and I didn't read before this, but I think just reading the beginning of this chapter, the ark had been taken, and Jenny, I know you've kind of read a lot on this, so correct me if I'm wrong, but the ark had been taken. Who was it taken? Stolen by the Philistines had taken it. Yeah. And so I'm pretty sure this is in 1 Chronicles chapter 16, and they had just gotten the ark and brought it back. And so, 1 Chronicles chapter 16 from, it's kind of picking up from 2 Samuel 6:17 through 19. So it kind of, parts of the Bible are at the same time, but, and so anyway, it says, and they brought in the ark of God and set it aside and set inside the tent that David had pitched for it. And they offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before God. And when David had finished offering the burnt offerings and the peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord and distributed to all Israel, both men and women, to each a loaf of bread, a portion of meat, and a cake of raisins. So it kind of is rather Thanksgiving-y.
You got some turkey, some rolls, and some
cake.
Yeah.
So then he appointed some of the Levites as ministers before the ark of the Lord to invoke, to thank, and to praise the Lord God of Israel. Asaph was the chief, and second to him was Zechariah. I'm not going to go through all those names. Then on that day, David first appointed that thanksgiving be sung to the Lord by Asaph and his brothers. And here is David's song of thanks. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, call upon his name, make his deeds known among the people. Sing to him, sing praises to him, tell of his wondrous works. Glory in his holy name. Let the hearts of those who seek the Lord rejoice. Seek the Lord in his streets and seek his presence continually. Remember the wondrous works that he has done, his miracles, and the judgments he uttered. O offspring of Israel, his servant, children of Jacob, his chosen ones. He is the Lord our God. His judgments are in all the earth. Remember his covenant forever. The word that he commanded for 1,000 generations, the covenant that he made with Abraham, his sworn promise to Isaac, when he confirmed to Jacob as a statute, to Israel as an everlasting covenant, saying, to you I will give the land of Canaan as your portion for an inheritance. When you were few in number, of little account, and sojourners in it, wandering from nation to nation, from one kingdom to another people, he allowed no one to oppress them. He rebuked kings on their account, saying, touch not my anointed ones, do my prophets no harm. Sing to the Lord all the earth. Tell of his salvation from day to day. Declare his glory among the nations, his marvelous works among the peoples. For great is the Lord and greatly to be praised, and he is to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the peoples are worthless idols, but the Lord made the heavens. Splendor and majesty are before him, strength and joy in his place. Ascribe to the Lord, O families of the peoples. Ascribe to the Lord glory and strength. Ascribe to the Lord the glory due his name. Bring an offering and come before him. Worship the Lord with splendor and holiness. Tremble before him, all the earth. Yes, the world is established. It shall never be moved. Let the heavens be glad and let the earth rejoice. And let them say among the nation, the Lord reigns. Let the sea roar and all that fills it. Let the field exult and everything in it. Then shall the trees of the forest sing for joy before the Lord, for he comes to judge the earth. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever.
And all we ever really hear in our lives is that very last sentence.
Yeah.
But that whole chapter is a great chapter. Yep. Great chapter of Thanksgiving. David is the best. Psalms is the best. Really all of Psalms, but David's Psalms are my favorite.
Yeah.
At Thanksgiving.
And straight up David's song of thanks, but it is kind of that list. It's kind of similar. I mean, they had just been through a hard time. They had lost the ark that the Lord used to represent him, that his power abided with, right? Obviously nothing can contain the Lord, but that was the item that was used that the Lord chose to use to operate through. At that time, and the Philistines and not only had the Philistines stolen it, but they had lost it.
Right.
There's two sides of that story, and they had lost it to the Philistines, and what a time of oppression and depression and that. And so So bringing it back in, but really putting together this list. I mean, you're right. David puts together a great list,
This kind of goes a little bit with 3 miles per hour. I listened to a podcast the other day from them, and they were talking about moving the magnifying glass, instead of focusing on your problems, get the focus on somewhere else, or even just get rid of the magnifying glass. I like that too, but just put it on the things that you're grateful for instead of, turning over and over in your head the problems, get it off of that.
Because we do get to choose what we're going to dwell on.
Yep. It doesn't feel like it sometimes. I really needed some help getting out of that frame of mind. And
if you're in a bad place and you're depressed and you're sad and you're all sorts of stuff, if you stand up, go over to a mirror and start smiling and just force yourself to do that for 60 seconds, you're going to have a hard time staying there. It's a choice. You cannot, you have a choice. We have a choice. Read your word.
You have
do
a choice.
something for someone else. Serve someone else. Do something different than just sit and wallow in the.
But it's hard to, and it's easy.
You can't stare in the mirror and smile and not feel different than you did.
Well, it helps to have community to help you get through that, because we all at this table have been in these funks where we can't get off. I remember a lunch not too long ago, and not to beat a dead horse.
Yep.
Gabe's like, just tell me one thing good that, you were just like in a funk. And it's like, it was hard to choose to get out of that. It's hard. I had that just about a week ago. Like, my wife's like, what's wrong? I don't know. I'm just in a funk.
I think being in a funk is different than staying in a funk.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm like, I'm going to stay in a funk for a second. Nobody's going to stop me from doing that, because I spend my life trying to be helpful, friendly, positive to anybody.
So true.
And I'm like, if I feel like being in a funk once in a blue moon, I don't care who likes it. I'm going to be in my funk for a minute.
Remember when we were trying to have that meeting a few weeks ago and Gabe was in a funk?
That's what we're all talking about right now.
Huh?
That's exactly what Jared was.
That's what we were talking about.
Literally what we.
You're weird.
What I will say, though.
Miles' edit point.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was in two
Take out
funks.
my humanness.
I was in 2 funks in the last month.
No, I just think if you're in a funk and you're having trouble getting out, start focusing on what you can be thankful for. The Lord will get you out of it.
Yes.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Yeah. Hope your Thursday is amazing.
Yes.
Okay, are we wrapping up?
I guess so. Anybody?
Okay.
Yep.
Then you have
Jenny,
to hear the
closing.
5 seconds.
I'm like 5 seconds. That's it.
That's all you need.
Okay, so Miles might edit this out because he's big on,
Or he'll put it at the
copyright stuff,
beginning.
But yeah,
Oh, really?
Or he better not.
So I
Well,
don't know
play
if
it
this
anyway.
Let's just
It
go.
could, really?
Yeah,
I had it up. I've been saving it.
Oh,
and
because Apple or somebody like that could edit just
It
block
has
our
no
whole
words.
podcast. Oh, you're all right.
it has no words
Oh,
at
okay.
all.
Yeah.
So
One way to find out.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll ask for forgiveness.
We'll see if Miles really does listen to the end.
Yeah, that's right.
okay, so if I...
Just hold it up to your microphone.
Okay, just hold it up to the microphone. Okay. I hope it'll do it.
Is that fall
Happy
music?
Thanksgiving, y'all.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
If
Yep.
that's Thanksgiving music, I can get
That's
on board.
Thanksgiving music.
With that. I can get on board with that.
We need to put this album in the show notes if that's allowed. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, we can free promote.
I can
for
smell
them,
a
so.
candle just listening to
Yeah,
that.
that's
Yep.
right. And a turkey.
And the whole album is
and
just
cinnamon.
like it. It's
Okay.
wonderful.
Put it in there. Let's pray. That was
Okay.
awesome. Loved it. Father, we're thankful for you. We're thankful for all your goodness, and we're thankful that you don't quit on us. We're thankful that you reign no matter who sits in the seat of president or who sits in the throne of kings. Father, you are the King of all kings, and that we are thankful for. We're thankful for the life you've given us, Father, the ups and the downs, your faithfulness to us. Please help us to be better at being faithful to you, Lord, by serving those around us. We love you and we worship you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Go ye into all the world
And preach the gospel.
Amen. Christmas season with Thanksgiving being part of Christmas season.
No.